How to get rid of insecurities. Clearly you know that insecurities can be the absolute death of you. The death of your energy, what you're going after, and just your relationships with people as well. So by the end of this video, you'll know how to not only get rid of insecurities, physically feel sexy, whatever, but how to actually get rid of insecurities on a mental and spiritual level so they're actually eliminated from your life and you're not just slapping a label on it. Let's get to it. Welcome back to another video, BLIVERS. If you are new here on this channel, I am Elizabeth, and here on this channel, we help people design a life of fulfillment through conscious creation. So if you resonate with that message, make sure you smash the subscribe button with the bell notification so you're updated every single week when I bring you a video. Okay, so diving into this is gonna be really fast because simply, I know it sounds crazy because it's something that's totally stumping you up and making you feel like in your life in multiple places, but eliminating an insecurity is actually very simple. Now, the amount of time that it takes to actually eliminate it depends on the individual, because obviously the deeper the cut, the more transformation of the bigger of a transformation process you're going to work through. But this is very simple, and the technique itself you can just do with your mind and body. You don't need your phone, you don't need anything, whatever, and you can do it within minutes. So it's a process. The transformation process can take long depending on the individual, but this technique is going to happen very quickly, and whenever you get done with the technique, you will be a step above feeling the way you felt currently now. Okay, so diving in. But actually, before we dive in, if you are resonating with this, make sure you give this a big fat thumbs up, because it helps me create more videos for you guys and because it sends it out to the YouTube algorithm. All right, so diving in. Now, to eliminate an insecurity, it's very simple. Like I said, it's just three simple steps. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to realize that the reason why you are insecure about something is because of the meaning you put on it. And I know that might sound like a little silly, but really become aware of the reason why you are insecure about something. Because let's use, because you can be insecure about multiple things, right? You can be insecure about your looks, your finances, relationships, your performance, like all these different things, right? But we're going to streamline talk about looks just because that seems to be, for examples of this video, because that seems to be something a lot of people are insecure about. So let's say freckles, right? Some people absolutely hate their freckles. They hate their freckles. And then other people are like, I own my freckles. So you want to understand that whatever you are insecure about is because of the meaning, the truth, because nothing's real and nothing's fake. Everything's real and everything's fake, if you get what I'm saying. So it all depends on the meaning you put behind it. What your insecurity is someone else's strength. What you are insecure about, someone else loves. So realize, like, first, what's the meaning I'm putting, like, why is it that I'm really insecure? Like, it might seem obvious, like, I just don't look good, blah, blah, blah. But ask yourself why. Like, why doesn't that look good to me? So you can get the deeper reasoning, the deeper meaning you put behind your insecurity, because that's what's going to help you into doing number 2 of the process. So number 2 of the process is challenge it. Challenge that meaning. So this could go one or two ways, kind of how we talk about reprogramming or simply rocking with the belief, but challenging that belief. So say we're going back to freckles, right? So say, instead of you could go that way and you could work on seeing yourself as like, okay, well, freckles are beautiful because they help, you know, they complement my hair. I didn't really point that out. I was too busy on focusing on how freckles were ugly for me. But what is more powerful than trying to change your beliefs around what you already have, because that's really hard for people, because you're like, no, this is literally how I feel, and there's nothing that I can really validate this with being otherwise, because I'm seeing it with my physical eyes and it's just not true. You want to challenge that belief, right? So if it's about freckles and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I feel ugly without freckles, you don't have to change that belief if it's too hard for you. But to get over the insecurity of it, you could be like, okay, just because I don't like my freckles draw me to, they draw up my eyes, and I love my eyes. And so when people look at my freckles, even though I don't like them, they immediately shun up to my eyes, and that makes my eyes are super sexy. So it's actually like a good thing. So you can take this one or two routes, right? You can look for all the ways that your freckles or your hair or whatever, or the way you speak, the way you deliver, the way you treat people is an advantage because of XYZ. But then also look at how or how is an advantage. And then also look at how, of course, like it helps you in other areas, things that it blends around with. So challenge the belief, challenge it in multiple ways. If you feel like you are like, for me, one thing that I always did is I usually work with people who are twice my age. And when I first got into business, I was like this well, not first got into business, but like one of my first like legitimate entrepreneurial things, because I started doing stuff when I was like 6, but like one of my first legitimate things is when I was like 18, and I was working with a lot of people who were on average like 50 years old. And so I felt really insecure on like, oh my God, they're not going to trust what I'm saying because I'm young, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, hold on, that's actually the opposite. Because I'm young, where's that actually an advantage? Like, why? What's in the mindset of people who believe that being youth is an advantage? And so I was like adopting like how they view, because remember, we want to mirror the things that are working. And I was like, you know what? The things that they believe on how youth is an advantage, and the statements that they said that resonated with me, I adopted myself. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, youth is actually to my advantage, because it shows that I'm a lot more, usually stereotypically how youth people are, is they're more up to date on like the latest trends, things going on, they're sharper, things like that. When before I wasn't even thinking in that way, I was just thinking actually kind of the opposite, like, oh, because I'm young, they probably don't think I know anything, or blah blah blah. Like, yes, older people might know more in other categories, but we want to look for the strengths within the thing we're being insecure about. So number 2 is challenge the hell out of that belief. You can challenge it by shifting it completely, or you can challenging it by realizing that it's actually part of your strength. And so last but not least is similar. So if you guys who have watched like the GDG sandwich video, it's very similar to that, but it is forgiveness, self-love, and then of course more of like the like raising back the forgiveness over the state of it. So number 1, obviously you realize that this insecurity has been beating you down. So the first thing you want to do is you can't just go from negativity, absolute 0, to all the way to 100. You can go all the way to it, but first on the way you hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So we first raise our vibration to a neutral state by merely just becoming okay with it and forgiving ourselves for ever beating ourselves up on it in the first place. So that's number 1. And then the second thing you want to do is reinforcing the number 2 steps. So whatever juice you got out of that, whatever you thought was your advantage, or how this thing is actually serving you, or how you can look for ways that it actually helps you, you then want to reincorporate that into like the self-love and feel that and get rejoiced about it. Because by doing this technique right here, after you got all the moving pieces together, this is what's training your neural pathways to fire new messages in different ways, so that you start seeing things in a new light and start habitually thinking stuff in a different way. So of course then you want to do the self-love thing. And then last but not least is you want to of course, like forgive yourself for feeling that, but like forgive anyone else who you feel like reinforces belief on you. Because if we keep holding grudges and things that associate us to what triggered the way we feel, that's not 100% releasing everything that is associated to it. And we want to release anything that is causing us to feel, any association that's causing us to feel insecure, because obviously those are things that's going to keep bringing up the trigger. And even though we cannot change people act in relation to us into what vibration we're giving out, right? Because we cannot be in any experience that we're not the vibrational of, so the vibrational frequency of. So whatever you are in, if you're around someone who constantly makes you feel insecure or whatever, obviously yes, it's a personal choice and we can't control the way they feel. But if we do like our own little self-forgiveness and then forgive everybody else mentally to their face, however you feel like you need to do it, then that association, and like I'm not just saying like, oh, I forgive you, but like actually forgiving, like releasing all like pain around it, you actually can be around them again without having those triggers. And then it's not reinforcing the fact, because obviously, like we said in the beginning of this video, this is a transformation process. Can't talk today. This is a transformation process. So you want to eliminate the amount of triggers that you have and any associations that you have around it. Using these 3 steps, you will eliminate any insecurity that you have about yourself, and you can do it with just your mind and body. You can do this on the beach, you can do this in chaos, you can do this anywhere. It doesn't even matter what's going around on you, because you don't even need that focused of a mind to do it, honestly, because you already are dead aware of the things you're insecure about. So that's all I have for you guys today. Remember, if you liked this video, give it a big fat thumbs up, and as always, dream big, live large, and be live.